Juror number 2 is directed by the legendary Clint Eastwood and stars Nicholas Hoult as a soon-to-be father named Justin Kemp, a journalist who is also a recovering alcoholic. He gets summoned to jury duty for a murder trial, but soon realizes that he may have unknowingly been involved in the crime. Now Justin faces the dilemma of influencing the verdict to free a potentially innocent man. I want to start this review out by shaming Warner Brothers for giving this film such a small, limited release. We just don't get many mid-budget movies like this anymore, and the fact that it's Clint Eastwood, someone still making movies into his mid-90s, should be all the marketing that they need. But apparently we can't have nice things in this world. Thankfully I got to see this film in an art house near my house, but still, shame on Warner Brothers. And this is better than almost all of the films they've distributed this year, so shame on them again. This is Eastwood's 40th directed film, and while it is not his best film, it is one that will please people with strong performances and a courtroom drama the likes of which we just don't get anymore. Nicholas Hoult gives a strong performance here. This is hot on the heels of Renfield, which I thought was one of the best bad movies in a very, very long time. I love Renfield. Please check it out. Here, Hoult is restrained and gives a very good, quiet performance as a man who is conflicted on whether he should do the right thing or if the happiness of the family he is creating is more important. Zoey Deutch plays the wife named Allie, who is a very high-risk pregnancy. She is on bed rest at the couple's home. Toni Collette is the prosecuting attorney of the case, a politically idealistic lawyer who thinks that this high-profile case will land her the job of district attorney. So she is steadfast in getting a conviction on this case. But once a discovery is made by one of the jurors, she begins to question the validity of her case. Most of them is shown through the eyes of Nicholas Hoult and Toni Collette, their characters, I mean. But there is a small sequence of J.K. Simmons who is wonderful as always, even if it's for a smaller role. He plays another one of the jurors that sides with our main character's viewpoint. It is just always a pleasure to see him. Without getting into too many spoilers here, we don't get courtroom dramas like this anymore. They were prominent a generation or so ago, so while this movie doesn't have very many surprises in it, and it is something that would have been lampooned by critics had it been released back then, I find it refreshing because the movie doesn't lower itself to standard chase and big monologue cliches. This movie doesn't feel Oscar baity, it's just a simple story, one from a bygone era it seems. I don't want to talk much about the plot of this movie because I think it is more fun going in not knowing very much and to see if you know where it is going. I'll just say that it is a slight cross of 12 Angry Men with a light touching of Tim Robbins' great film Dead Man Walking. The film isn't perfect though. The way that the court case is explained in the movie is very surface level Hollywood's idea of how trials work, and to be quite honest, the prosecution's case is very weak. It doesn't have as much of a leg to stand on except for a cell phone video that was taken in the pouring rain and an older witness who claims to have seen the crime even though his house has trees that make it harder to see, not to mention it was nighttime and raining. If that last part sounds familiar to cinephiles, yes, that is the same kind of witness in the movie My Cousin Vinny starring Joe Pesci. But this movie isn't a comedy and doesn't insult the intelligence of the people living in this town. It actually treats the people of this town with respect, which I enjoyed. If I'm getting my negatives out of the way here, I also think that the AA sponsor played by Kiefer Sutherland doesn't belong in this movie at all. It is great to see Sutherland in any movie, but the only reason his character exists is to potentially add stakes to the dilemma of our main character. He doesn't contribute in very many ways, and in fact, he seems completely detached from the rest of the story, as in he's only in scenes with the main character and he doesn't really interact with anyone else. Also, without spoiling it, I did not like the last scene because I think it undermines the powerful and realistic theme of the scene that came right before it. So that was disappointing. But overall, I think that the strong performance by Nicholas Hoult makes this movie good, as well as the intrigue in the jury room. While those scenes definitely draw fair comparisons to films like 12 Angry Men, I think Hoult's portrayal and the amazing acting with his eyes to show us how conflicted he is makes this movie worth a watch. This is a movie for adults, and I don't mean like dirty-wise, I just mean it's adult thinking, and one that kept my attention from beginning to end. If this is indeed the final film to be directed by Clint Eastwood, then he went out on a high note. This is probably his best film since Gran Torino, and while it is no masterpiece, it is a great reminder of courtroom dramas we just stopped getting a long time ago. I give Juror number 2 3 stars out of 4. I would say to please see this in theaters, but it seems that this movie got buried before it even had a chance of getting word of mouth. So when it does arrive on VOD, please check it out if you want to see a solid piece of filmmaking. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Please comment below if you have thoughts on this movie or the fact that WB just seemed to not care about this picture. What is your favorite Clint Eastwood movie? Let me know. I want to see it in Nora, but no theater in my city is showing it until next Thursday, November 14th. So please look forward to that when I am able to see it. I am also going to see Conclave tonight, so that will likely be my next video. So if you please Please like this. Please like and subscribe. Click here to see more movie reviews. Follow me on social media if you like. And until next time, I am Ghost.